Currently, the market is tougher than ever. Ad costs are rising, consumers are getting smarter by the day, and there's more and more competition entering into the market. But this is also the reason why the top 1% of brands are currently crushing it. So in this video, I want to share how we help all of these big brands crush the market and thrive in this difficult economic situation. So enjoy this video. Let's start with the current market situation and the core thesis. Entrepreneurship is the process of creating something new of value by investing the necessary time and effort, assuming the associated financial, psychological, and social risks, and receiving the resulting rewards. This is a quote that I've used from a bachelor thesis where I researched what factors play a role into the success and the growth of entrepreneurial ventures. And basically what I found out is that the point where you finally attain ultimate power and freedom is the following. Every entrepreneur is working towards the state of enough capital to finance a desirable lifestyle, to enjoy true time and location freedom, and to finally take advantage of possibilities that previously seemed unattainable. In short, you want to reach escape velocity. Escape velocity is the point at which your income from your capital exceeds your expenses, and this results in real freedom. This is the point of true FU money. And this is all about living the lifestyle of movie characters, whether you like James Bond or whether you prefer The Wolf of Wall Street. We've all seen these Hollywood movies and the depicted ultra-successful individuals within. This is a seemingly unattainable lifestyle, for most, right? Not for us hungry entrepreneurs like us and yourself. $5 million after taxes on your bank account affords this escape velocity. In this state, you are free to work on projects that interest you, and you can take on more risk in terms of time and capital, and you can enjoy a feeling of peace, or at least less stress. And in this thesis, I want to talk about how e-commerce founders can reach escape velocity. Contrary to popular belief, there aren't many options to reach escape velocity with an online business. Your best bet is e-commerce, which is also why you're in the business model. And as a founder at an 8-figure run rate, you're now 1 inch away from reaching escape velocity if you play your cards right. So you don't want to waste the next 5 years operating at a high level without quote unquote making it. You are actually able to take this goal down with a couple well-coordinated punches and skip 5 years of excellence. And as a founder with a brand of more than $10 million in yearly revenue, you've already established initial proof of concept for your product and marketing channels, and you've made it into the pond of the bigger fish. You've achieved initial cash flow and lifestyle upgrades, and you got a hint of what it could feel like to be super successful and wealthy. And while all of that is great, it's still far away from escape velocity, because the challenges for you as the founder shift from validating your business case in the initial proof of concept with paid acquisition and product to now scaling efficiently and profitably. There are thousands of capital binding factors like overheads, inventory, and ad spend, and all of those are forcing functions for quick cash flow realization, meaning you have to make money on the front end to scale further. Which is also why you as the founder have to shift from the nitty-gritty stuff like validating new creatives, audiences, or channels to the way bigger picture, which is how much can you effectively spend to acquire new customers? And even more importantly, can you spend more money than your competition who is bidding for the same audience? Nothing is worse than having the superior product but being bullied from a competitor who optimizes his paid acquisition funnels and is able to outspend you and afford higher CPAs. I'm going to repeat a phrase that's been repeated by many of the most successful marketers of all time, including people like Dan Kennedy and Michael Masterson. He or she who can afford to spend the most to acquire a new customer wins. And this is so true, because if you can afford to spend more than your competitors to acquire a new customer, then you will get all of the customers. It's pretty simple, meaning whoever can spend the most wins. So let's put this in the current situation that we're in with the market. If you like what you're seeing in this video, then listen up. I have a 9-hour course with training materials and standard operating procedures that I've condensed into a 70-minute training video, which is not publicly available. If you want to access this training videos with all of the SOPs and all of the processes that we follow in our agency with the clients that we work with, then click on the link in the description, put in your email address so I can send the training and send the video to you. We have a lot of layoffs due to the big tech industry laying off thousands of staff in all of the different sectors, right? The consumer sentiment index has been developing negatively due to all of the factors like war, inflation, recession, Ukraine, the new presidential runs and everything. And also the US e-commerce growth rate is stagnating. So layoffs, recession, war, inflation, and lower purchasing power are stressing almost everyone and forced adaptation. It's the survival of the fittest. A common sentence nowadays is, or I wish I had the CPA or the CPC or the CACs from 5 years ago. And a common sentence in 5 years will be, I wish I had the CPLs, the CPCs or the CACs from 2024. Making money is about beating time. And you can beat time in e-commerce with volume and efficiency. The problem with volume, meaning a high scale, is that you have to have a profitable customer acquisition machinery. But the ad costs are ever rising. This is due to the platforms wanting to make money and more competitors going into the market who are all bidding for the same audience. So you will hit a limit soon, especially because you target quarter audiences that are less and less aware if you want to scale. And while there's still some scale effect left in 2024, the product and shipping costs are still rising. So if you spend more money on the product, you also need to lower your customer acquisition costs to keep your profit margin constant. Plus, as said, ad costs are always rising. The recession and inflation eat the buying power away, and the competition is increasing by the hour. So the only way to beat this race is by improving efficiency, because more efficiency allows us to scale to more volume, more profitably in less time, meaning constantly higher conversion rates from first impression up to the retention. So let's take a look at this conceptual formula to drive the point home. Higher probability to reach escape velocity, meaning you want to make more profit in less times, is based on the following KPIs. You need more traffic. This traffic needs to convert better and get you more orders. Every single order needs to have a higher margin, meaning a higher average order value, and you want more lifetime orders, meaning a higher customer lifetime value. And I just want to talk about this scenario really quick. And this is just a random scenario. So let's say there's a brand right now that has an ad spend of $750,000. So $750,000 per month in ad spend, and they get a $2 cost per click. This translates into 375,000 users per month on their website. With a 5% conversion rate, they would equal 18,750 orders. Let's say they have a $75 average order value. That would leave them with around 1.4 million in revenue. Now, let's say they have an 80% COGS margin. That will leave them with $375,000 in profits. Now, let's say this looks pretty well. Let's increase ad spend. Let's increase the ad spend by 20% in the second scenario. Now we have $900,000 ad spend. Let's say everything stayed the same. So the cost per click, the conversion rate, and the AOV. If we look at the revenue, this would obviously, because of the increased traffic, jump to 1.687 million. Let's say margins are staying the same. This would translate into $450,000 profits, right? So if increasing the ad spend by 20%, you're also going to increase the profits. Now, let's say a third scenario, we didn't touch the ad spend. We didn't spend more money on ads. We just improved the conversion rate KPIs. So the conversion rate and the average order value by 10% each. So you can see the traffic is similar to the traffic in the first scenario, but we have a 10% higher conversion rate and we have a 10% higher average order value. This means out of the same traffic, we get more orders, right? So now we have 20,625 orders and the revenue is 1.7 million. If the margin stays the same, we now have a profit of $611,250. Now you can see, and this is the interesting point to drive this home, is that now on this ad spend level, right, without touching anything on the performance marketing and the paid acquisition side, just by improving the conversion rate metrics, we made the whole business case way more profitable. So we make more revenue with more profits without increasing ad spend or increasing traffic, right? And you can see that this is even way more profitable and even gets you more revenue than increasing the ad spend by 20%. Now, you can do another scenario in your head. What would happen if on top of that, we would increase the ad spend by 20%? I will let you do the maths on that, but let's just say it makes it really, really sick. So this pretty much drove the point home. Your company evaluation in e-commerce is heavily based on the conversion rate optimization KPIs. So conversion rate, average order value, revenue per user, and customer lifetime profit. If you focus on these for 12 months, you will take home 10 years of income at exit and find better buyers at higher prices on better terms. If you don't fix them, you will only be receiving offers from VCs and private equity that squeeze out every penny out of your valuation, give you terrible terms, and take your company away from you to collect the upside while leaving you with not enough to live off for the rest of your life and 100% of the risk in case of downside, where you're not in control anymore and you would pay for the wrongfully made decisions since you had to agree to the terms due to lack of options. A monkey with a keyboard can buy traffic. Algorithms are advancing. Creative testing is becoming more and more like Russian roulette, and generating traffic is not difficult. It's all about the conversions. VC and private equity firms want to buy a company where they can put $1 in and get $2 back. It's easy to put $1 into anything. As I said, anyone can run ads, right? But it's very, very hard to predictably make $2 back, especially at scale. Right? I'm not talking about $10,000 ad spend a month. We're talking about millions and millions of dollars in ad spend per month. All of this makes it a forcing function for profitable and capital efficient growth in a short period of time, because otherwise there's a super high statistically risk that someone else will swallow you up. Someone of your competitors will just eat you alive. And the greatest danger in this situation that you're in right now as the founder of a brand that's doing more than $10 million in yearly revenue is to destroy the perfect trajectory you are on to reach escape velocity. So all of this now leaves you with two options. You can either watch from the sidelines, not knowing what to do, not knowing what lever to pull, and to work completely capital inefficiently, leading to your business slowly declining and your competitors slowly stealing market share, which eventually leads to your business being crushed. Or you can seize this opportunity with the difficult market situation to cut off any fat in your business, boost both revenue and profitability by adapting, innovating, leveraging new technology, especially the conversion rate optimization part of this, to thrive in this difficult economic situation, all while outpacing competition to dominate the market now and in the future, and you as the founder are going to reach escape velocity. In my opinion, there's only one feasible option, which is the second one. If you are struggling right now to scale your ads further or more profitable because the market became so sophisticated and there's so much competition in it, then what I want you to do is check out the video that I'm linking below, where we share the case study of Kinobody, who is selling testosterone supplements in the most saturated niche that you can imagine. And in the 45-minute video, I break down exactly how we created a new offer and enabled him to scale in this saturated niche.